Oh, so lovely to meet you here, Tom.
Oh, it's a great pleasure.
The last time we saw you was 2018, so that was, going back a few years. You just released your new album, Science Fiction.
I remember. I was on tour, actually, and I came back from America just to do this show.
Yes, that's right. And
So
what a spectacular show.
Wow.
It's always a great spectacle. I mean, because all the band looked brilliant. All the girls were in white, weren't they?
That's right.
And
They will be again today. That's become a habit. And
is that a sort of conscious decision to choose that?
yes, it's partly a practical thing because when you play in the afternoon
Yeah.
and it's not dark enough to have lighting,
No.
people at the back can't see if you just wear a kind of blacks and browns. So
Yeah.
wear white is,
It really stands out, and the ball coming across.
and they kind of, these things are little kind of fun gimmicks that you play with, but they end up sticking.
Yeah, that's it. And you got an award, didn't you, from Pop Magazine for the best live show, and that was in 2016.
Right.
So I mean, that must
For
have been
classic pop. Yeah. I think they were very kind to kind of recognise that we'd come back and started doing shows again.
Because you came back after 27 years.
That's right.
A break of.
I went walkabout for 27 years. I actually thought.
What were you doing in that time?
Well, I was still being a musician, but not in kind of mainstream pop music.
Yeah.
And I thought that was all over, and I wasn't really interested anymore. And then one day, suddenly, I got interested again. In how these things happen.
Yeah.
But it was very weird coming back after such a long break. It wasn't just a year off. 27 years off, So I had to remember a lot of things I'd forgotten.
Yeah, I bet. But how did you find the reception at Rewind when that first live show?
Amazing. So, I mean,
had you missed it all those years? When you saw the reaction of the crowd?
Yes. Well, I mean, I think I found out very quickly that it was going to be okay.
Yeah.
That the crowd, in a way, aren't checking you out. They're there to celebrate something that you have in common, which is these songs that we all grew up with,
Of course, I mean, they were the soundtrack of our
and of course, naively, as a musician, I think it's all about playing it correctly, but actually it's about some human connection thing, it's an emotional experience.
Yeah.
So my band, who are, I have to say, the most brilliant musicians, but I tell them it's not enough just to play it properly. We have to find that thing that
magic.
Joins us. Yeah,
and it comes across. It's always spectacular. And people that we've been walking around, they say, "Oh, can't wait to see the Thompson Twins."
So once you found it, it becomes an addictive thing.
Yeah,
right? That's what you look for every time.
That's it. Yeah. Now all the hits that you had, "Hold Me Now" and "Doctor Doctor," you had a string of. So really, I mean, 80s. You were a staple part of the 80s charts. Great success. Throughout that time, and you even in America. They took you on board there as well. You've got a lot of fans over in America. A great success. Going back to Live Aid, because you actually performed over in Philadelphia, didn't you?
So we were recording in New York at the time. So
right.
Coming back to the UK to do that would have been a big disruption. We were right in the middle of an album project with Nile Rodgers, and so Nile said, "Why don't we just do it here?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, we don't have a band here." And so we thought, you know what? David Letterman's band aren't playing that night because his show is cancelled because Live Aid's going to be on TV instead.
Oh, right, yes.
So they're all looking for a gig. Let's see if they're available.
Yeah.
So we basically bagged the David Letterman band, some of whom went on to become part of our regular touring band.
Yeah.
And of course Madonna joined us,
yes,
and Steve Stevens from Billy Idol's band. So it ended up being this kind of accidental superstar get together, which was great fun.
I bet. And did you sort of hang out with Madonna a bit that day? Have you got any sort of anecdotes from the day?
Yes, I'm sure I did, and but she was way out of my league,
Of course not. I mean, you looked fabulous with your red hair and on the stage.
That's true, and I gave her a big break.
You looked
but
amazing.
Frankly, she was on the edge of massive superstardom, and everyone was looking at Madonna,
So over the years, many good memories, Tom. Any more amazing moments that stick out?
It's all been amazing. Come on, it's important in a way not to differentiate. Otherwise, you start looking at things like this as being, just another gig. They're all totally exciting. You've got to get a little bit freaked out and nervous about every show you ever do, you know, because it's special, it's an enormous opportunity, and if you get it right, you come out of it a better person than you went in. So they're all special.
Definitely. Oh well, they're very special to us, Tom, and we're really looking forward to seeing you performing later.
Me too.
And any sort of projects in the pipeline that we can look forward to? Any new music?
Well, I'm going to tour in Australia in October, so that's our next thing.
Yeah.
But at the end of this month, the beginning of September in fact, I'm going to do the first of a series of concerts where we're performing the Into the Gap album in its entirety. So,
fabulous.
Which is what we'll be touring the world with subsequently. But we're going to start off in Aylesbury, Aylesbury Friars Club and the Waterside Theatre there on the 3rd of September. And I'm really nervous because there are songs I haven't sung for 40 years.
Wow.
I better start learning them, I think. So that's my project.
I'm sure they'll all come back.
We hope.
Thanks so much, Tom. Really lovely to talk to you again.
It's a great pleasure.
And looking forward to seeing you on stage later. Thank you.
I'll be looking out for you.
Thanks very much.